Hi, and welcome to episode 35. I'm joined again by my friend Paul Simard. In our last episode, we talked about his important work with the UNHCR. So if you want to check that out, go back to episode 34. Today, however, we're going to be talking about his amazing work with an organization he founded called huMENity. Paul, welcome back. Tell us more.
Hi, great to be back, Anita. Thank you so much. So huMENity is really about creating spaces for men of all ages to connect with themselves, to connect with other men, to provide them an opportunity to share on a more deeper level some of what they're experiencing in life. Men struggle to connect and communicate, and they even struggle to communicate that they need those connections. And in order to support mental well-being, we provide them with the support and the spaces in order to do that. We do most of the work in group work, so that men can connect with each other, but there is also one-on-one for those who would like to take it a little further.
And I will include in the description notes with this video a link to your TED Talk to give the backstory to your own personal experience and what brought you to this amazing work. Now, there's been a lot of talk and discourse about how this pandemic is impacting women in particular. They're on the front lines of a lot of service industries. Also, the issue around being isolated at home with your family has seen a spike in domestic violence. So women we're paying attention to the equation for women. And I think that the COVID pandemic is also presenting itself with a moment for concern about what's happening to men. Could you tell us why this is a particularly difficult time for men right now?
Yeah, sure. For better or for worse, men were raised, my generation and those before us in particular, and they will be the perpetrators of a lot of the things that you spoke about towards women. We were raised with the idea that the social constructs that validated us, that made us worthy contributors to our families and our communities, were around protector and provider. And I've even struggled with this during my time, especially around this idea of protector, because we are up against a foe that we can't see and that we're not quite sure how to battle. And to be frank, our leaders aren't necessarily giving us clear directives either. There's a lot of confusing information. That kind of uncertainty has a massive impact on men. On top of that, we have a massive percentage of men who have lost their jobs or are on furlough. And so the provider role has also been rapidly removed from them, again, for no fault of their own. And so they find themselves in these situations where they're not able to fulfill these two most important roles as they've been raised to believe. They also find themselves at home. And to your point, women are quite often on the front line. There's a higher percentage of them than men. And so men are now put into the role as well of child rearing, which is something that, for better or for worse, again, we were not raised and equipped to necessarily do. And it's not that we can't do it, but we struggle a little bit more with doing it 24/7, like women are so great at doing, right? And so that also adds this additional layer of pressure. And finally, our opportunities to connect, superficial as they might have been through things like going for beers and having, opportunities to go to the hockey game or play hockey, those have also been removed. And so we're also finding ourselves in an increased level of isolation. And men struggle to reach out, to ask for help, to create those connections. And so all of those factors together are really putting a lot of pressure on men that they might not actually be showing anyone. They will be suppressing, because that is the skill we are given. And so we're seeing more and more research talking about the fact that this first wave pandemic, COVID-19, is going to be followed by an equally important and potentially devastating wave of depression and mental illness. And that will affect both men and women.
Yeah. So for anybody who's watching, a man who's watching, who's curious, or a woman thinks, yeah, maybe I should send this resource to my husband or my brother, cousin, father, whatever. How can people connect with you and what can they expect?
Sure. I mean, the best way to do that is to connect with me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I can bring them into our huMENity group. We have a closed group, which is a space where men can connect online. We also do weekly calls where men can come and connect online. And I never thought that they could be as powerful as they have been, but it's been a beautiful experience. Those are every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So the kids are down, maybe had a chance to settle down a little bit and get into the right space. And it's been very cathartic, I think, not only for myself, I know that, but also for other men. And there's small groups as well, so there's no need to be concerned. But there's also other organizations, whether people come to huMENity or they go to Everyman or Sacred Sons or whatever it might be, there are lots of communities that people can reach out to. And this is not the time to be the lone wolf, to try and do what men have typically thought they needed to do. This is the time to connect and to build a community. And the important thing is that you find something that aligns with you as a man and your beliefs and how you want to show up, and that you connect and contribute to that community.
Such a powerful message, and thank you so much for the leadership you're showing in this space, Paul. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.